everyone. Welcome to TEECS, our first town hall meeting. Before we start, I want to remind everyone, on Tuesday we have COVID test and antibody test will be done in our school site. So we highly recommend to come and do the testing and antibody testing on Tuesday. It's free for everyone. Hopefully see you on Tuesday, August 25th. So you can do scheduling on the website. You can see the posts on Facebook as well. Please, you're more than welcome. So we can actually we are here. We have Miss Raja.
Hello everyone. I hope you're all doing well.
Our curriculum supervisor and the special coordinator, Dr. Aydos.
Good morning,
Project
all.
coordinator, Miss Kosh,
Good
curriculum
morning, all.
supervisor, and Miss Heska.
Hello.
Project coordinator. So we'll start with Miss Heska with the presentation, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm just going to move this down here. Okay. All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Obviously, we are going to be discussing at length our reopening plan for this fall, coming up very soon. Before we get into that, though, it's been a very stressful summer, I guess we could say. There's lots of ups and downs, and we just wanted to take this opportunity where we have the attention of a lot of our parents just to put forward the message that we will continue to emphasize equity in our school and make sure it's a core component of our strategic planning as well as a strong part of our curriculum. And, we are happy to welcome back as many students in person as we can, but our virtual learners as well. We want to make sure that everyone is feeling united and equal within the learning environment. So with that being said, I'm going to get into our agenda for today. So many of the parents sent in questions beforehand, which we appreciate it. A lot of it is going to be covered within the components of the agenda. However, if we do not get to your specific question, there will be a short question and answer session at the end where we open the forum. But let's get into the agenda for today. Our reopening plan is a hybrid model. So all grades K to 12, will operate on a regular schedule, on a regular school day schedule, 7:35 to 2:35 p.m., 4 days in a week for the hybrid, for the in-person learners, and 1 day remote for all learners, which is Wednesdays. While teachers are teaching in the classroom, their smartboard screens will be shared through Zoom sessions simultaneously. So learners that are remote will be able to see the content that the teachers have, not through the camera, but digitally on the screen. Virtual learners will follow the lessons and assignments through Zoom, and the smartboard will be shared on the Zoom screen, and students will listen to the teacher's lessons. So they'll be able to simultaneously see the teacher as well as the lesson on their screen at home. Yes.
Some other parents are actually trying to.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to take the waiting room off now.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, okay. Teachers' computer cameras will be focused only on the teacher and not on the in-person learners in the classroom. Teachers will have access to see if students have any questions or comments and respond in real time as the lesson progresses. Teachers and in-class support teachers will constantly check on both virtual learners and in-person learners simultaneously. As I said, Wednesdays will be remote for all learners, even those that are coming in person on the other days of the week. All teachers and students will be remote while the school is deep cleaned on Wednesdays. It will follow an early dismissal schedule for grades K to 8, which is 7:35 to 12:35 p.m. But it will be a full schedule for high school students in order to meet the requirements needed for graduation. All students will participate in remote learning on Wednesdays asynchronously. So unlike the other days of the week, teachers will post pre-recorded lessons on Wednesdays. Attendance will be based on assignments submitted, and classwork will be due by 4 p.m. Wednesday afternoons, and at least one other day in the week, time will be dedicated for teachers to check in one-on-one with their remote learning students. For the students that are coming in person, we are obviously going to be following all the safety guidelines as recommended by the local health department. So all students and staff while at the school will follow all the protocols of social distancing and wear masks at all times, unless one has a documented medical diagnosis. Temperature checks will be conducted for both staff and students upon their arrival. Staff will be completing a screening, additionally, a questionnaire screening daily. Students or staff who exhibit a temperature of 100.4 or higher will not be permitted to attend school. A guardian must be available for pickup in the morning. So if your child is dropped off, you're going to be asked to wait by while we do the temperature check. If your child takes the bus, there must be someone available via phone to come in and pick them up, and we will have them waiting. Students and staff will also be required to wear a face covering throughout the day. We have updated our student handbook, which we require all students to sign digitally through Community Pass. And in the student handbook, there is a COVID-19 section of the student handbook, which can be found on our website under the student section, and then could be signed digitally through Community Pass. Frequently touched surfaces will be sanitized throughout the day. Water fountains, the drinking part of the water fountain will be disabled, the direct drinking. However, we do have the bottle refilling stations. And while also they'll be sanitized throughout the day, students do not need to touch anything. They just put the water bottle under the sensor and it fills up the water bottle. So students who coming for in person are encouraged to will need to bring a refillable water bottle. There will be no more than 12 students per classroom, and that allows us to maximize the number of students, but also follow all the guidelines and socially distance them. For arrival, dismissal, and transitions, the students will be spaced upon arrival, entering through both the main door and the gym door. So in the past, where we had everyone mostly coming through the gym in large groups, that won't be happening anymore. We're going to be staggering where they enter. It will also be far less number of students. They will not be gathering in common areas in the morning or at dismissal. They will report right to their homerooms. And when they dismiss, they will dismiss directly from their 9th period class to either their bus or their pickup location.
Yes.
And they won't be gathering in common areas. Also, students who change classes there'll be staggering of the grades during transition times. We've placed social distancing markers and markers on the ground in all of the hallways and common areas to assist students and give them a better idea visually of the space they need to create between each other. We're continuing still with the safety guidelines for the in-person students. For lunch and recess, they will attend lunch and recess each day. Our cafeteria has a maximum capacity of about 40 students. That allows us to, once again, socially distance them with about 6 feet, either 6 feet or more apart. Plexiglass barriers will be installed if needed to partition the tables in between students. Tables will be sanitized after each lunch session. Lunch that is provided from the school will be served in disposable trays with food items individually wrapped. Students will purchase through their meal accounts. So in the past, well, they might have given an ID card or their fingerprint. They won't need to do that anymore. They just give their name and it'll be entered into the system, and it's using the same meal account as in the past. Students will be distanced at recess as well. The playground is going to be sanitized after each session. Students are not permitted to bring any items to share, such as sports equipment. And masks will be required only if they cannot be social distance. So recess is a time for them to be able to be outdoors and far away from each other and have a designated mask break each day. Sure.
Like we have reached the maximum capacity in the Zoom, 100 parents, but some of the parents are waiting. So we are trying to get them onto some other link too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we have reached the 100 capacity there.
Okay. I thought it was more than 100.
Yeah, but the parents are waiting to get it, and they're not able to.
Okay.
So can you wait? He's just putting on the Zoom, in the Google Meet also.
We'll talk to them later on.
No,
We'll-
they
we'll-
record it and send it to them.
Yeah, we are recording this, so we can send it out.
Yeah.
I hear an echo though. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So should I continue?
Yes, yes, continue.
How I can get into this.
Continue, please.
Okay, for remote learners, this is a breakdown for our remote learners. They will be expected to attend the Zoom sessions to be considered present for a class. So they will follow their regular class schedule. Students who are not attending the live sessions for illness or another reason would need to notify the main office as they normally would, and they will be marked absent. Students who are remote learners are not required to wear school uniforms. Remote learners will have the opportunity to work directly with teachers in class and in class support one-on-one should they need extra help or clarification on a topic. Remote learners will use the necessary online platforms such as Google Classroom, Pearson, as we have in past years, to submit their work. Remote learners will also be upheld to the conduct in the student handbook. Now, a lot of the conduct in the student handbook does address in-person activity. However, there are situations that carry over to remote learners as well. So students who are disrupting or not adhering to the conduct of the teacher, there will be consequences for them, even though they're remote. There will be a scheduled pickup day for textbooks once the school receives all of our materials. Unfortunately, shipping is not normal at this time because of factory delays and things of that sort. So once we have everything and we know we have it available for it to be picked up, you'll be able to schedule an in-person appointment with the main office, and you'll be able to pick up the materials needed. Special services. All related services such as speech therapy, OT, and counseling services will be provided virtually for eligible students, virtual students, and in-person virtual for hybrid learners. ESL services will be provided for all eligible students. All IEP deadlines will be met in accordance to the NJDOE guidelines. Virtual INRS sessions, meetings will be held to identify the needs of struggling students. Social emotional support. Teachers will be providing ongoing social emotional support as part of the curriculum. The school guidance counselor will also be in contact with students who are in need of support. Chromebooks. So students who are receiving a Chromebook from the school, such as third grade students and students third and up who are new to the school, will receive a link to schedule a time for the computer. Students who wish to purchase their own computer may do so, but it would have to be a Chromebook operating system. The reason for this is because all Chromebooks must be enrolled in our system by IT, and the only way to do that is if it's a Chromebook operating system. The students who have new Chromebooks that they did not purchase through the school, so if you bought a Chromebook elsewhere on your own, you can schedule an appointment with IT to have it enrolled. And that time period is from September 1st through 11th. So we're giving the first 2 weeks of school as a little leeway to get that enrolled. Now, the reason for this is in order for us to monitor the student Chromebooks, that is why they have to be enrolled in our system, yes. So students can use programs such as NetTop, where the teacher can monitor their work. They can also, we also have access to the student history and the content that they're using and searching on the computer. So I'm just highlighting here a part of an update to our student handbook, where it notes that students' personal Chromebooks need to be registered to the Google G Suite. Students with personal Chromebooks have to enroll it with IT, and students will be unable to use the TEECS network if they have not done so. If a Chromebook is used by a student without enrolling it to the IT department, TEECS is not responsible for the Chromebook activity or the content of the student. So unfortunately, if we cannot enroll it, then we will not be able to have access to it the way we need to in order to monitor the students accurately. So we can't be held responsible if it's not enrolled. So those are the main topics of the reopening plan, which we did send out as part of the email earlier in the week. That is obviously much more detailed. That's our plan that we submitted to the state, but there were lots of other questions that didn't really fit into those main titles. So this is kind of a mishmash of other questions that we've received throughout the week, and we appreciate parents reaching out and highlighting these concerns. So one question was, how will physical education work for the in-person learners? And it will work just like all the other classes will work. Students will be outdoors when possible, especially for physical education. But when it's not possible and they have to be indoors, they will be distanced 6 feet or more apart. And with our low number of in-person students, we would definitely have the space and capacity to be able to do that. What will be the turnaround time for teachers and staff to reply to parents regarding questions and concerns? As always, we try to put forward the 24-hour rule. So all communication is through email. Questions will be
making a
24-hour period.
Okay.
What are we eating?
And
I just want to make sure we're all on mute.
we have bread, Nora. What's the problem?
No,
This should be a treat. Okay.
Okay. Sorry about that. However, each day, teachers are available to students until 4 p.m. each day. So especially for the remote learners, if they have any questions or concerns, they need to reach out directly to the teacher, and they will be available to them. Will the parents receive a list of clubs that are remote capable? So at this time, there won't be clubs during the month of September. We will be working with teachers and staff in these first couple of weeks of school to create a list of clubs that are possible to run remotely. We know there are some clubs that can run remotely, and our intention is to start those clubs in October. So once we have that comprehensive list, we'll be able to send it out to parents. What is the protocol for addressing IT issues with students? So any sort of technology issue should be directed to the IT department, and they can be reached at it@energysmartschool.org. The ultimate goal is to solve issues remotely. However, if it's something that's physically wrong with the computer and it's not possible to solve it remotely, you can always schedule an appointment with IT to bring the computer in. Will parents be provided with weekly updates and keep the parents abreast of concerns and progress? So we will once again start up our school weekly newsletter. Once the school year begins, there will be a section of the newsletter dedicated to updates in regards to safety guidelines and updates from from the health department. Additionally, our teachers will continue to send out their weekly letters, mostly pertaining to academic. If a student who is remote learning has a non-academic issue, who can they talk to, and what is the protocol for setting up a remote session for that student? So unfortunately, these types of things happen. If a student is having an issue that is non-academic, either with possibly with another student, parents can reach out, or students can reach out to the disciplinarians, myself for elementary students and Dr. Idos for middle and high school students. And we'll take the information and assess it and take it from there if it needs to be addressed with guidance or just addressed with us. What would be the process to pick up books and other materials from the school for students that are 100% virtual? As I said earlier, some shipments are delayed. However, once materials are all in, we will send out a schedule for picking up textbooks. If you are new to the school, then you should have already received or receiving today, I'm not sure if Ms. Graff sent it out yet, a link to sign up for the Chromebook pickup. Will aftercare be provided? There will be extended care for in-person students only from 3 to 6 p.m. daily. Students and staff, of course, will follow the same guidelines as the school day, and that registration will be released in the next week or so. How will assessments be handled? Assessments will be conducted as usual within classes. Students who are remote learners will be on computer monitoring software during the testing time. So at this time, that is our presentation. If we have any further questions, what did we say? We wanted.
I see Ms. Raja and Ms. Ghosh already typing out questions.
Yes,
Right.
we are all messaging back.
If
Okay,
there's
so-
always a specific question, you can always email to admin and Ms. Ghosh, Ms. Raja, info, Ms. Eska, to anyone. But if you have another question to ask, we are here to answer your question.
So there is the raise hand feature. So if you'd like to use that feature on Zoom, I will unmute you and we can answer any questions.
There are a lot of questions in the chat.
Yes. Hi, Ms. Pierre, is that you?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can
Yes,
hear
we
you.
Yeah, I wanted to confirm. So I know that students that are remote learners can switch and go back to the hybrid. Can the reverse also happen, and what's the procedure for that?
Sure, absolutely. Thank you for that question. So students who want to switch at any time can email the main office info. And for remote into hybrid, we have obviously a capacity within each class. So if we are at capacity, then we will put you on a waiting list, because there may be parents that want to switch from hybrid into remote. So the waiting list will go in order, and we will be able to make those accommodations based upon capacity within the classroom. And at any time, students who are already hybrid that would want to switch to remote, once again, can email the main office and let Ms. Graff know, and we can make that transition as well.
Thank you.
The average right now in every classroom, there are like 6-7 kids. So we can tell in every classroom there's 4 or 5, right?
Mhm.
Spaces are open right now. After that, there will be waiting list if you still want to come back to a hybrid option.
Right. Most of our classes are not at capacity yet. Although it varies with grades, we do still have spaces open.
Maybe maximum 7 to 8 kids in classroom, I think, maximum.
Ms. Rashid, are you there?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Thank you so much for putting this together. It really kind of puts us at ease.
Yes.
So my question was, you had mentioned for remote learners, they would be required to be logged in as far as attendance goes. So how do you do that with multiple kids, and if you're like sharing a laptop or you have technical issues or just kid stuff that comes up and you just can't log in for whatever reason?
So as far as technical issues, I think that will have to be on a case by case basis. Obviously where there will be some leeway there, if we're having, if you're having an issue of getting on. But as far as for having multiple students, it is encouraged for students to have their own computer for remote learning. However, for K-2, they can use a tablet, or it doesn't have to be a Chromebook, because they're mainly just watching the lesson and doing work otherwise. So it's for 3 and up that they would need the individual Chromebook. So if you have a iPad or even a phone, somehow that they can be in there to watch the lesson.
Okay, so just as long as I have K and then a second grader. So
Right.
If the kindergartner is logged in, but not necessarily
Yeah, as
So
long
what
as
is
the teacher can see that they're there and participating, logged in.
Okay, and then there's going to be due dates like at the end of the week or daily.
That kind of information will be based upon the grade. That's more of a one-on-one question, so you could always reach out directly to the teacher. I'm sure that they will have that information in their orientation video.
Well, most of the daily due dates are classworks. Yeah, what I was supposed to be done in classwork. That's the daily dues. But then all those,
And usually for K-2, homework is given in the form of a packet that's given Monday and is usually due on Friday evening.
Okay, that makes it sound better. Okay, thank you.
No problem. Umar?
Hi, thanks for putting this together. So actually part of my question was just answered through a response to the other parent. But what I do want to ask is, for new students who are entering kindergarten, so for a lot of them, this whole learning experience, not just the remote part of it, will be very unique. Is there any suggestions you can give to ensure that the kindergartner is, learning the material, because they're going to be in front of the computer directly with the teacher, but with the inability to understand how to maneuver and click buttons to ask questions as needed?
So what we are doing is for kindergarten or any other class, the Zoom session.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. If you could come closer to the mic.
Hello. I understand, and yes, it's a big question. I hope I can answer it, and I know the correct answer for this because the situation is so difficult for kindergartners. We totally get it. What we are trying to do is do the best in the given scenario. We're going to do a Zoom session, and we understand that the child may not be able to maneuver the keys and stuff. For that, the whole session is recorded, and teacher is always available to take further questions. And every Wednesday, teacher will give a personal time to the student. So just in case the child has any other problem, they can answer it.
and there will
Got it. Okay. So, sorry, go ahead.
Yes.
There will be in-person new parents, right? Orientation with kindergarten, right?
Yes. So we will explain in detail how this would work. And for other advantage that the kindergartners have is that in-class support is there. Our aide is always there. So she may be able to help this child one-on-one in case he's having difficulty.
Right, but so my student's not going to be, my kindergartner is not doing in-person learning, they're doing remote.
Yeah,
So
you know what I meant to say is Zoom. We can also have different Zoom session for the child, or even within the Zoom, we can break it into different groups and we can have a group with the child. So just in case we don't know how this is going to be like, we will ensure that the best we can do in the given scenario.
Okay, and will we have the ability to have, like we did during the second quarter of this year when all of this pandemic happened, the lessons plans were available in Google Classroom and we can print those out. Will that be the similar setup for kindergartners?
Yes, it will be the similar setup for kindergartners or any other K to 6. It will be the same. On the Google Classroom, you'll have the day's agenda. You'll have all the videos. You'll have all the recordings that will be posted there. Just in case you cannot log in at that particular hour, you can always complete it at a later time.
Got it. Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Kapoor, are you there?
Yeah, hi. Thank you so much for putting this together. Just had a couple of questions, mostly focused on in-person learning. One, we've seen that, right, given the current situation in other school districts, the schools that have opened up in person, there has been an uptick, right, in the infection rate. Could you just talk a little bit about the proposal and the approach for the folks and the kids that are going to be in person, and what is the plan for contact tracing and notification in case, God forbid, something bad does happen?
Sure. So I think we've.
I am going to ask a question.
I believe that we sent out in the last email a chart that sort of gave possible if scenarios, right? So what happens if there's one confirmed case in the school? What happens if there's 2 or more? So that chart actually was sent to us by the New Jersey Public Health Department. So in accordance with scenarios such as that, and just working directly with the health department, we will use their suggestions and obviously their guidance as far as, you know, whether we should just send a class fully remote, send a grade fully remote, send a few grade, you know, based upon the situation. And also to answer your question about contact tracing, yes, we have set up a system of how we can, you know, identify, you know, if there's a case and how we can contact the parents, but still use the anonymity of the students to keep everyone, you know, safe.
And there will be 4 questions, right? That students will be answering all those questions. If
Yeah, every day there will be a
the questionnaire.
so, yeah, questions, so we can keep track.
Right. So yeah. So we do have a system set up, and there is a contact tracing section in our reopening plan. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, I think so. So I'll look for that email and make sure that I read that. The second question that I had was just quickly, especially for the children that are going to be coming in, right? Even in a good time, right? The drop off and pickup scenario does get congested because of just the sheer location of the parking lot, right? I want to see if there's a plan in place, given that there aren't any, you know, clubs afterwards for now, at least, to alleviate the congestion that happens, especially because a lot of the parents are going to be now dropping off and picking up, right, in the middle of their workday.
Right. And, you know, it's hard to imagine this whole reopening because we're imagining how the school was before, right? But our numbers, our in-person numbers are less than 25% of our population. So we have less than 25% of our families coming in. Now, a portion of those will be taking buses. So that alone is going to alleviate the number of cars and the sheer volume in the morning and in the afternoons for drop off and pickup. But our security team is, you know, doing their best to create a plan for, you know, cars and where they can wait and how we can, you know, safely and securely get everyone in and out of the school.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kapoor.
We have Miss Haider, I think it is. Haider.
Yeah, hi, how are you?
Oh, sorry. Hi, how are you?
Good. Thank you for all the information. It's really helpful. One of the questions that I guess I wanted to bring up, one of the challenges that I've had previously, and I think this is going to be more important now, is just scheduling the parent conferences, right? Because the way it works today is we get emails from all the teachers and we have to kind of go watch all those emails and kind of jump on them as soon as we get them so that the sessions are not locked up. Is there a way you can just kind of make a single platform, bring that into a site where we can get an email, then now you can go schedule where we can see all of the teachers and just go ahead and schedule the meetings with the teachers? And again, it's going to be more important now, right, with all the remote learning.
Yeah, so I don't think we've addressed conferences yet specifically because we, you know, we're not at that point yet in the school year, but that is a good, that is definitely something that we can note down and consider and revisit as we get to that point. Anything else you want to add?
I missed the question. What was the question?
He's asking if there is a better way to do conferences instead of just waiting for each individual teacher to reach out. You know, especially for students that have multiple teachers.
We will see how it will work out, how it will phase out.
The Wednesdays are the days that teachers will be contacting students.
Right. So yeah, we don't have like a direct answer for that right now, but we'll definitely note it down. I think I lost, I'm sorry, I think I lost him. Oh, here we go.
So I see questions coming about Franklin Township. We're a different school district, so we do have different plans. So they're going for remote for till end of November. As of right now, if governor doesn't say anything else, we will be opening by September 1st as a hybrid. So it's an option to pick to come or not. So Franklin Township district is a total different district. We're not bonded to them. They do have their own policies and procedures.
We have a lobby. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, hi, how are you?
Good, good. Good, thank you. And yourself?
Doing our best. No, I'm very good. Thank you.
Thank you guys for having this forum. I am still pretty new to the school, and my main concern was the in-class learning. I mean, the curriculum, as far as especially ELA is concerned. I was I don't know how ELA is done, say, in first grade. Is it going to be kind of personalized where in the blocks are broken up according to independent reading, and then you have reading with the phonics, you know, etc. And if so, how would the remote learners get the best of everything as the in-person? How would they all actually get the best of what is being taught, or is that on an individual class basis? Because everything is just so different now.
So I just want to make sure I understand your question. So you're asking for specifically for younger kids, how
phonics is taught? Is that your question?
My question is, for the learning style of the school, I'm not sure how the school is doing so much of the, especially the ELA classes, because that's one of my main concerns. Is the class going to be split in groups? And if the class is split in groups because all students are not on the same level. Mm-hmm. So how is the school going to be able to individualize the learning while still including everyone is more of my concern.
I think that's a very good question, and that's what we are trying, and that's a very big challenge that administration and teachers are facing, as this is not the normal norm that we are used to. However, what we plan to do is do a pre-test before any standard is being taught. We know what the base level of the child is. Based on that, teacher would try to differentiate the lesson in the classroom. And again, individual support is provided to the student via tutoring and extra class that the child can be able to attend with the teacher.
Oh, awesome. That's very helpful. Thank you so much.
Most welcome.
Okay, next we have Mrs. Tabanli. Are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Hello, how are you?
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
Good morning.
How are you?
We really appreciate it. Latif has a question. We know that beginning 7th grade, the students under normal circumstances will start using lockers to change in and out of the, no, right?
So So as we indicated in our plan, unfortunately, students will not only for gym, but also for regular locker use, there will not be any regular locker use or gym changing at this time until we revisit to a safer scenario.
Okay, thanks so much.
No problem. Mrs. Duncan, are you there? Oh, what happened? I lost her.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. So, so two questions. Actually, piggybacking off of what was just said about the locker situation. So, what will happen with the children? They have to carry everything with them, or how is that going to work?
So students who are in person will have their backpacks, will bring their backpacks into their homerooms. As far as, other materials such as books, I mean, we are mostly using digital. So the main thing that they would be carrying is their Chromebook. But other workbooks and textbooks that they need, I think the teachers will probably set forward the plans. So those are, it's going to be different based upon the grades. So that would be something that the students can either ask when they come in, or if parents are concerned, I'm sure teachers will address during their orientation.
Okay, and would they, okay, so I guess we'll wait till orientation, because I just want to make sure they're not carried around, especially with the older grades, like heavy 10-pound book bags.
Well, that's definitely something that we, we'll keep in mind as we make the plan. Right, right.
And also in every class, we try our best to keep the same desk and chair so that they can keep the materials. If they want to keep the materials in the same place, they can also keep that.
Okay. Okay, and then the other question I had was regarding if a child that's in person is sick or not feeling well, are they then able to participate in virtual learning? Like, how does that work?
Absolutely, absolutely. It is seamless for a child to be able to transition from in-person to remote or virtual learning. That will
day or something.
I'm sorry.
Like if they have a stomach bug, like if it's one day, that's not a problem.
Not a problem.
They'll count as present.
As long as they're well enough to be able to attend the class virtually and participate, that would be based upon parent decision. But if they're not coming in and they want to be virtual, then they can absolutely do that.
Okay, and we just email the school to notify. I'm assuming okay.
Yes.
Okay, all my questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm not sure how to say this name. Adagula? Oh. Hold on, I lost it now. Oh, here we go. Leela, I think it is. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, sorry about that.
Sorry. So yeah, hi, I'm Leela. So I have a second grader and kindergartner coming in this year, fully remote. So last year, I know I was dealing with a first grader, and I really, appreciate all the teachers' help and all your efforts. You all have done a very wonderful job. So last year, we all were learning. So it's been a learning curve for both parents. It's been a little messy in the beginning, trying to, adjust to this remote work, remote office work, and help students with school work. So I'm just trying to understand how it's going to be this year, how much parent involvement or guidance is needed. I'm especially asking for the kindergartners. I think second graders would be fine on their own. So what is expected of the parents?
So basically for a kindergartner, as you know, you can't give them a Chromebook and ask them to sit and expect them to follow all the guidelines that the teacher is remotely trying to tell them. So
Right.
that would be a big challenge. If somebody can monitor and set up some kind of rules and a kind of a classroom environment for the child, and maybe the child, then you can leave the child for about 15 minutes or 20 minutes because the child is being monitored remotely by the teacher and the aide. However, I think it's not advisable to say, I cannot say that your child will behave at his best and can independently take care of all his lessons. you know.
Okay. So also, yeah, other than the homework that we usually get, normally that teachers give every Monday and we have to submit every weekend. Other than that, last time we were also submitting all the classwork at the end of the week. I mean, Sunday night or something, we got the deadline. So this time, because since we are having the classes, parallelly, they are in the Zoom sessions. Will the classwork be, done by the students during the class, or is it expected to be submitted end of the week? How's it going to work?
Ideally, in the classroom, in a classroom environment, we would make sure that the child completes his or her work within the classroom. But we do understand that your parents are also working, you're trying to manage everything. We will be very flexible. If you have a situation, please email the teacher and she will be, flexibility is the key here. We are going to be very flexible and accept the work even if it's late. But what we expect is, since we're doing a live Zoom session and providing the child with the time to do, we expect the child to do within that time. But if your child cannot do it, we do understand and we'll provide the extended time.
Okay, great. Yeah. Thank you so much. That answers my question.
Good luck, We wish we can do, if you have any good ideas, just do share with us. We are also trying to do the best in the given scenario.
I know, yeah, I totally agree. Last time also many of us chipped in a lot of ideas, and I saw that you all took the best ideas and implemented them also. So I really appreciate that you're considering the feedback and giving this flexibility. I totally respect that.
Thank you. Thank you for your support as well.
Thank you. Before I go on to the next question, I just want to reiterate, as we had sent out to parents, that unfortunately, because of the situation, our regular orientation, we had to cancel because of the amount of students and coming in and out. But we will be scheduling appointments for new to the school students. So students that are new to the school will be able to have them come in and meet and see the grounds and meet teachers. But for all returning students, teachers will be sending out a virtual sort of orientation video that will outline probably a lot of the questions that you have for individual teachers, of how the classes will run and things of that sort. So if you're a new family to the school, do schedule do note the times for the orientation, but otherwise returning families will be in contact with the teachers directly. We have a question from, last name is Ghosh. Not you, Miss Ghosh? Are you there?
Hi. Yes, I'm here. So I have a couple of questions. First of all, thank you very much for all the support so far. This year, our son is going to be going to the kindergarten. He starts school at TEECS. So the support has been great. We've been, appreciate all the communication that's coming from the school, and we look forward to the academic year. Couple of questions is, one is that we actually joined late this meeting, and is there a way this meeting can be shared with us after this?
Yes, it's being recorded, so we'll post and send it to our parents, to all parents.
Sure. So thank you very much. And the second question is that, so for a kindergarten, like I looked at the timings of the school is from 7:50 till 2:30, right? So will there be breaks given? Because it's like very unrealistic for a kindergarten person to, a child to sit from, for 6-7 hours at a stretch, right? So how would that be managed? And, what is going to be the flexibility to go in asynchronous rather than sitting all through those 6 hours? So just want to get some, input on that.
So normally what we do in a kindergarten classroom is, once we start the class, we only teach them for about 10 minutes or so, and then we give them frequent breaks within a 40-minute period as well. So your child's schedule would be sent to you. Your child would be having, apart from the core subjects like language arts, math, and science, will also be having some specials. And all this will be running synchronously from Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, except on Wednesdays. If you want to be there in a synchronous learning mode and go through everything, that's fine. A break would be given for recess, break would or snack, recess and lunch. But otherwise, if you want to go asynchronously, there were some parents who had approached me. Definitely, if there is a strong reason as to why you want to go asynchronous, in the Google Classroom, the agenda for the day is posted, all the lessons are posted, videos are posted. So you can make use of that. What we expect you to do is to complete the classwork in a timely manner, send it to the teacher, and the homework is always in the form of a packet that we expect you to return it at the end of the Friday evening. Hello?
Oh, I think he's muted again.
Yeah, that is helpful. Thank you. Thanks.
Right,
Yeah.
thank you. At this time, we don't have any other hands raised. And I know that there are some questions in the chat that Dr. Idos is addressing, but I think that's everything for today. So this is being recorded and it will be posted. If you think of something later on, always feel free to email to admin@energysmartschool.org, and we will try our best. We really thank our parents for their patience and their cooperation in in this new start to the school year. And we, for those that are coming in person, we look forward to seeing faces. For those that are remote, we look forward to seeing virtual faces. So we thank you all, and have a great rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.